Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. Okay, this video I'm going to be talking about something that I'm extremely passionate about, and that is the ability to work through things when we're communicating with people. I was having this conversation with someone a few days ago, and I was like, okay, this is something I have to talk about here as well because I'm extremely passionate about this. So, one of the things that we should be doing in our lives is giving ourselves the gift of a community. Now, I am a member of three different communities in my life, and one of them is the temple community, which has been amazing for me. And it wasn't easy in the beginning. Like almost for a year, I didn't have people at the temple. I felt kind of alone there, but I would go there anyways because I was going there for God. But after a while, after a year of going there so many times, now it's been almost a year and a half, 2 years almost. And I have a thriving community there. Now when I go there, I recognize people, I know people, like there is it's good. It feels connecting, but many times it takes time to build that community. That's one of the communities, and I have two other communities. And these are communities where you're forced to, so give yourself the gift of having a community that you're forced to meet people every time you go there. Like you go there, let's say once a week or however frequently you go there, but you meet people there once a week, and you have to work through them because they're going to be the same people that you're meeting. So even if you have a falling out or a conflict or something with someone, which you will, right? We're human beings. Anytime there are people meeting each other, there's going to be conflict. There is going to be things to be worked through, or things that we are not be able to work through, or whatever. There's going to be conflict. But if we're going to those communities over and over and over again, and we're keeping on meeting them, then eventually we find some way to work around it. Either we find a way to be polite with the person and just politely disengage, or polite just be have a polite relationship with them, or we may have I've experienced all these, by the way. We may become very close to someone, and then there might be a huge falling out or blow up or something, for whatever reason, and there might be a period of awkwardness because you're meeting the person at the same community. You're like you keep going, and you don't give up on the community, right? Because that community is far bigger than that one relationship. My relationship with God is far bigger than that one relationship, or than any few smaller relationships or whatever, right? So you keep going, you keep going, and it's awkward at first and it's weird at first, but then you get to a place. You work through to a place when both of you know that both of you are going to be there no matter what. Then you find an equilibrium spot where you learn how to coexist with each other, or you learn how to become friendly again, even if you don't go back to that amount of closeness, or you may go back to that amount of closeness. Who knows, right? So that is the second thing. You give yourself the gift of having a place where you can go in person, not on the phone, because it's so easy to meet people and not like them, not get along, and just disappear. Then you're not building the skills of working through conflict. You're not building the skills of being in relationships. You're just running away from it every time. And I'm not saying that you should be in every relationship, far from it, but it's important to build the skills so that you are able to coexist in a community with all kinds of people, and you're able to have build in-person relationships with some of them that become really good over time. So you find a community like that, whatever it is for you. You might like to go dancing, or you might like to do a music class in person. Though I'm talking about in person because it is just impossible to build real relationships on Zoom or whatever it is. It's not possible. You guys know that. Like, for those who might think, yes, it's difficult to drive over, and it takes me half an hour to drive to the temple and half an hour to drive back. So 1 hour is just driving time to every trip, and the trip might itself be half an hour long. Sometimes it's when I'm volunteering, it's 3 hours or something, or when there's a function, it's a lot more. But there are times that I just go there, and I mean, literally, I'm spending 10 minutes or 15 minutes there, and then I'm back. So 1 hour driving time for 10 or 15 minutes I'm doing sometimes. And you might not want to do, but you might want to find a way where that driving time does not matter, because you can use that driving time to listen to stuff or whatever, but you are giving yourself the gift of going to a place, whatever the place is, and not worrying about like, oh, this takes too long or this takes whatever. Not worrying about all of that, but understanding the importance of doing that, understanding the importance of making that trip. So yeah, so that's what's missing, I think, in our current lifetime, which was in our current lives, like right now today, because earlier this was how it was before phones and before work from homes and before internets, which I grew up in that, where there was no internet. Like my entire childhood was without internet, and so there was no other option. You had to meet people. I mean, there was nothing else you could do. You had to have a community, and now you don't have to have a community. You can order stuff from Amazon all the time and just comes home, and then you can just hide in your house or hide in your room, like, and just like not deal with people at all. Just play video games all day long, or even read or whatever. But you're not really building connections, and you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're really learning. And it's so important to learn how to be with people. It's so important. I would encourage you to, live with people. If you live alone, just push yourself. And it might be scary, but live with people, because that is a community where that is I mean, and you have to find the right people, of course, and you have to find a way to find the right people, but you have to go through a bunch of people in order to find the right people, and you have to give yourself the gift of allowing yourself to do that. Okay. So yeah, so the reason I'm talking about this is because I recently met somebody who's finding it very difficult to live with people, to exist with people, to care for other people, because yeah, I mean, it was just a very controlling situation. And I feel like I feel like I handled it well, because I immediately saw that this is what's going on, and instead of just allowing myself to be in a situation where I know that I'm going to feel controlled and I'm going to feel pulled down in my life. It's like I have a lot going on in my life. I have just a crazy amount of things that I want to do that are good, and I have a huge number of people that are supporting me in an upward spiral, and I don't want to go down in a downward spiral. It's not healthy, and that's not helpful. So yeah, so but this person does need to learn, like, and I need to learn. I have so much, so long. So I'm so far away from where I want to be. I have so much farther to go, and I have come also very far. So I'm somewhere in the middle, and I recognize that. But yeah, the way that I'm choosing to learn is by diving in, by throwing myself in situations where I am meeting people in person on a regular basis, and in like multiple ways, in many ways. And it's helping me grow. Every single relationship is helping me grow. Every day I'm growing. So yes, give yourself the gift of that, and understand the importance of conflict. Don't run away from it. Don't be afraid of it. It is absolutely crucial for you to go through conflict. It is extremely crucial for you. So do it. Okay, that's it for this video. Wish you a day filled with personal and spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.